We have a fascinating deep dive for you today. We're exploring a really dramatic strategic shift in a sector you might not expect, cultural institutions.
Exactly.
We're talking about how AI for search is changing, well, everything for museums, heritage sites, and galleries.
It really is. Your sources are focused on AI SEO and LLM SEO strategies specifically for them. And the core finding is that discovery just isn't passive anymore.
Right.
The moment someone even thinks they might want to visit an art exhibit, that first query is filtered through an AI.
So an institution's digital presence now directly drives physical footfall.
Directly. It impacts their ability to fulfill their entire mission.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit. The goal isn't just, ranking high on a list anymore. It's about being the definitive answer when an AI is asked something like, what should I do this afternoon?
Precisely.
So what are these new search environments? I mean, we're talking about Gemini, Copilot, Perplexity, and of course the big one, Google's AI Overview.
It really boils down to optimizing for three distinct but integrated approaches. It's complex, for sure, but the strategy is absolutely vital.
Okay, let's start with the foundations. What are the pillars here?
So the first pillar is what we're calling AI SEO. Think of this as the museum's digital infrastructure. It's using technical optimization, natural language processing, that kind of thing.
To make sure the content is machine readable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fundamentally relevant to any algorithm. Then the second is LLM SEO. Large language model optimization. This is more specific.
How so?
It's about optimizing, say, your exhibition descriptions or your opening hours so they're perfectly structured to be delivered as confident, conversational answers by those AI engines.
Okay, so AI SEO is the chassis, and LLM SEO is kind of tuning the engine for conversation. But how does a small local historical society compete with a massive national museum on a topic?
And that's where the third pillar comes in, semantic SEO. This is the real lifeline for cultural identity. It moves beyond just keywords to build deep contextual relevance. So instead of just listing Monet, you use structured data to connect Monet to Impressionism, Paris, and 19th century art.
You're telling the AI the whole story.
The whole story, yes. And that lets the museum rank for those really high-intent searches, like Interactive Science Museum near me.
Or, where can I see original Roman artifacts?
You got it.
This is where it gets really interesting for me. If those three pillars ensure the AI understands the museum, how do we make sure people actually, physically show up?
We pivot to the practical mechanics. To feed the LLMs what they need, museums have to adopt an AI-ready website architecture, and that means rigorous use of schema markup.
Which is like digitally labeling everything.
It's exactly that. You're putting a digital label on exhibitions, events, opening hours, so the AI can just grab what it needs to give a trustworthy answer.
And trust is everything when you're planning a family trip.
Yeah.
So how do these sources say museums can enhance that authority?
They really stress enhancing EEAT. That's expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness.
Okay.
For a museum, this means showing why you're the expert. Feature your curator bios, link exhibits to academic research, make the educational value crystal clear. That digital trust translates directly to a visit.
And to maximize those visits, we have to talk about location and reputation.
Absolutely. The strategy mandates a heavy investment in local SEO, making sure map listings are perfect, tracking calls, direction requests, that sort of thing.
And what about reviews?
That's the other half, proactive online reputation management, actively getting visitor reviews and monitoring the sentiment. These are the immediate footfall drivers.
What's fascinating is the specialized terms the sources use here for tying this all together.
Yeah, they explicitly use AEO, which is Answer Engine Optimization, and GEO, Geographic Engine Optimization.
And what do those do?
They're really the culmination of the strategy. They make sure the museum's perfect answer is presented right at the top in those location-driven, synthesized AI overviews. It essentially puts the museum on the user's itinerary for them.
So the core takeaway here for you, the learner, is that digital success for these institutions has just radically shifted. It's no longer about a static web page.
Not at all.
It's about creating this perfectly structured, trustworthy, conversational asset that an AI uses to actively guide a visitor through their entire planning journey.
Indeed. The source material is very clear. Museums that align AI SEO, LLM SEO, and semantic relevance, they stay visible through that entire journey. And this raises, I think, a really important question.
Go on.
In this AI-first future, how long until other sectors, think education or finance or even healthcare sectors that also rely on building trust and guiding actions, realize they have to optimize in the exact same way for these conversational platforms? That critical adaptation is already here.